Ready? All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Excellent. I'd like to welcome everyone who's joining us here in person, as well as all those who are joining virtually to NetElixir's 9th annual X equals experience. So we're so grateful to have you here. We're especially grateful for those of you who have traveled to be here, and our esteemed speakers. We are grateful for them. It hasn't been without sacrifice to make time to attend something like this. So thank you, all of you, for being here. I'm Kenny Mayer, Strategic Director Senior Director for Strategic Partnerships at NetElixir. And I'm here from St. Louis and looking forward to our Rethinking Innovation with our speakers today, Jay Steinfeld, Katie Milkman, and David Richard Bell. Our aspiration at this event is to build a community of knowledge, and Udayan will speak more about that throughout the day. NetElixir is known to be fanatically analytical, and part of this vision, our aspiration here, is to bridge the academy and the industry. And to bridge those two requires innovation, and innovation just happens to be the ingredient that drives the dreams of entrepreneurs. So we're here today to take part in a vision. You'll all be part of that, and this knowledge community includes you. So I'll say, in rebuilding or rethinking innovation, it was said once by the founder of UPS in 1907, Jim Casey said, "Always be constructively dissatisfied." That's how he put it. And that means no matter how good things are going, always be thinking of a way to make it better. I'd like to do, just for a moment, introduce NetElixir for those of you who are a little less familiar. So NetElixir's purpose is to help companies who sell online to find and acquire high-value customers, and to provide insights to those organizations to help them to make better decisions. NetElixir's been doing this for 18 years and uses artificial intelligence now to assist in making industry-leading insights and decisions for the companies that we serve. We've been doing international marketing for over 13 years very successfully, and are a proud member of Google's Leadership Circle. What that means is there's 6,139 marketing agencies that do what NetElixir does. That's a Google statistic, according to Google. 12 of them sit on Google's Leadership Circle, and NetElixir is a proud member of that circle. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to our fearless leader and our resident Einstein, our CEO and co-founder, Udayan Bose.
Thank you very much, Kenny. I mean, there is a saying, no pressure, right? Resident Einstein, I'm not even close. But before I start, I really wanted to thank all of you. I know we have more than 200 members joining through live streaming, so a big hello to all of you as well. And we have the audience, an amazing audience out here. Thanks a lot for making the trip and attending. I really wanted to take you through as to why this X equals experience and what is the overall purpose. But before I jump in, I have to get rid of this a kid in the candy store moment. Because it's not often that you really have two of your idols being there together. So one, we have Jay Steinfeld. I mean, he is the reason, I'll not break it now, but he's the reason probably why we exist. And Jay invited Rita McGrath, who has been one of the persons in strategy, one of the top thinkers on the strategic innovation side, a very, very famous professor from Columbia Business School that Jay was kind enough to invite, and Rita kind enough to join us. Thank you very much. I hope we can have you as one of the keynote speakers sometime very soon as well. Thank you. So I'll start with a quick purpose and evolution of the company. So this is me and my friend Vishal Gaur. He's a professor at Cornell. And he used to call me to do some guest lectures back in 2011, 12, 13, 14. I was doing some sort of guest lecturing there in Cornell. And when I spoke with the professors, I found that there was a bit of a gap in terms of what is happening in the industry and what is being really taught and researched probably in academia as well. So the aspiration was, can we really build an unconference which tries to bridge the gap between the industry leadership and the academia as such. So this is just an aspiration. This is just something that we have really been able to really put together as a company. And it's just incredible that this is the 10th year and actually 9th X equals experience. We obviously missed the COVID year because of the obvious reasons. So this was, I think, the overall goal, bridging the gap between the academic world and the real world. And it's really my belief when great minds meet, magic happens. So the reason we start with this tour of Einstein, because who can be an indicator or a symbol of such fresh thinking than Einstein? So that was, I think, and the last part is just a humble admission. There is so much that we don't know, right? I think that's, the most empowering part of the entire thing. And one of the things that Brita, again, I have been very stubbornly enforcing that once you are inside this room, you are in a classroom. You essentially, whatever your titles, companies, you sort of leave them outside. But here, everyone is a student. So again, welcome to all the X equals experience students, essentially. So this is, I think, what our overall goal is. I'll just quickly move on to some of the key purposes which really have driven this thing. The first one is ideation. To make this community a success, to make this event a success, it's absolutely imperative to have discussions, ask questions, have those conversations. We have always found that the value of the conversations probably are as much as the value of the presentations as such. And our aspiration would be if there are certain key takeaways that you are able to implement in your work. Now, we'll not be able to share any search marketing strategies or digital marketing strategies. We can have a separate conversation on that. But this time is a little more inspiring, a little more different. And that's how we really came on to this theme of rethinking innovation. Inspiration, this is Sheena Iyengar. She has spoken at our event about a couple of times. And obviously friendship. I mean, it's so great to see Laura and Louis right here on the same table. And I know Ruth is joining us virtually. So hi, Ruth. Sorry you couldn't make it. But, and obviously the industry academy research collaboration. This is one thing I wanted to take about 30 seconds. I think we have a lot of business leaders. And when I speak with the academy, I'm still associated with Cornell and do some guest lecturing. There is one common request from all the professors that I wish we could get a little bit more data to do research on. So there seems to be a gap there. So if any one of you is interested in putting us in touch with the research world or the academic world, please let us know. We'll be happy to make those connections as such. But I firmly feel that if industry and academia can work so closely, then magic is bound to happen. And that's what the aspiration of this entire event is. We came up to this rethinking innovation. I have to thank and credit Professor Jerry Wind. I'm pretty sure you know Jerry Wind of Wharton. So we were discussing at his office in Wharton, and there were a lot of discussions back and forth. What should we have the topic? And this was in 2018. So we, at that time, obviously didn't know that COVID would make it almost like imperative. But that was the topic we came up with, and this becomes a recurring theme for the entire event. It also, to an extent, stands for a lot that we believe at NetElixir as well. It's all about innovating and re-innovating yourself. And I think at this point in time, we are at that humble juncture in how things are really evolving in the overall global landscape, that this becomes a very pertinent topic as well. Again, a big thank you to all of you to sort of coming in. The community also, for those of you for who this may be the first time, it's making a big difference as well. And this is something I don't know whether Jay I spoke with you, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll just give you a little bit of a backstory. I'll try to keep it short. And I know some of the members are joining from India who are very deeply involved in this thing. So this was in December 28, 2016. Me and my better half and the co-founder of NetElixir, Tulika, we walked into this government school. I still sort of choke up when I think about that moment. This is a government school. This is an all-girls school. It's in a place called Musapet in Hyderabad. And there are about 800 girls, and there is one bathroom which gets running water 2 hours a day, right? So that just to give you an understanding of as to how much of a mess it is. We went into the 10th grade class, and there were about 108 girls studying in that class, right? And they couldn't obviously speak English or understand much, so we had to use a translator and ask them a simple question. How many of you think you can score 80% marks in your 10th grade exam, right? A simple question, I mean, through a translator. Now, these girls all live in slums. They are, in many cases, a single-parent house and so on and so forth. And 3 of the girls very shakily raised their hands. Then, on the spot, we said that suppose if we were to sponsor the entire 11th and the 12th class education in high school, and 4 or 5 years of college anywhere in India that you can get admission to, how many of you think you'll be willing to work hard enough to really sort of get 80%? And 14 girls, so someone had finally given them that thing that they desperately needed, which is hope, right? So in this case, the hope translated into something almost like a means as well. Finally, when the results came out, and I still have goosebumps sharing this, 21 girls scored more than 80% in that class, and 6 girls scored more than 90%. So we selected the top 3 girls, and this is the picture from that day, May 17, 2016. This girl that you see, I think Swati may be sort of joining. So her mom breaks stones. She makes about $70 a month, just to give you an understanding, right? So I mean, understandably, with that income, understandably, she couldn't really afford to support higher education for Swati. The girls, Anu, again, lives in a very, very small house, and she had constant amount of, anyway, family problems and challenges and so on and so forth. So it was difficult. It was difficult for both of them to pursue education beyond the 10th grade. One of the things that we sort of learned was actually from the 3rd girl who was there. She did not join. So you see only 2 girls, because the 3rd girl, her parents got her married away. How old was she? She was 13, right? So that's the situation, and despite our best effort, we'll sponsor. Literally, I was sort of pleading to their parents, please let her study. I'm sort of sponsor. I'm taking responsibility. He just didn't allow, right? So that we completely, unknowingly had sort of hit upon something which is a massive concern of the developing countries like India, many places in Africa, many places in Latin America have the same problem, where every 7 minutes a girl under the age of 14 is getting married away, right? And that was something that we unfortunately couldn't do much. But anyway, we decided to sponsor the education. And fast forward, and that's where the Udayan Trust and Flight Foundation came in. And I think the idea of flight is everyone has the same right to dream, right? And everyone has the same right. I mean, God has given us the world. Everyone is equal, right? So why shouldn't we give them hope and a chance and a means? So that's how the Flight Foundation started as well. So we cover about 2 years of the high school. In India, high school is 11th and 12th grade, and 4 or 5 years of college. And then we get them sort of placed in different jobs effectively within India primarily as well. Currently, we're sponsoring about 18 girls, and they are attending high schools and colleges. And also last year was this year was very special, because the first 2 girls, Anu and Swati, they graduated. And I wanted to quickly run by as to where they are now. So she has joined Accenture as she is working for Hitachi. The interesting part is Anu's mom was not allowed inside the Hitachi office as a cleaning woman 10 years back. And now her daughter is essentially a software engineer in the same company, in the same building, right? And effectively, their overall family income has now gone up about 500%, let us just put it that way, right? So it's a different, so I had this recording from Anu, hopefully it's about 3 minutes, so hopefully you'll like this.
Today I want to share a Cinderella story with you. You all know about Cinderella, right? Who is very poor, whose father used to work as a security guard, and whose mother used to work as a, used to clean utensils of, household, and whose sister used to work in a company, and around every month they got around 10,000 rupees, and her father, Cinderella father, was a alcoholic and a smoker, so he don't used to spend a little amount in that family. So whatever they earn, like 10,000, in that only they used to buy groceries and medical kit and all that. So in that situation, she doesn't know what to do. When the Cinderella is in class 10, a team approached them, and at that time that Cinderella was very happy, and they want to adopt that girl who is in top rank. So at that time she decided to crack that situation, and she studied very hard, and yes, successfully she got second rank in class 10, and then Udayan team approached her and adopted her, and yes, she completed her intermediate with good percentile, and then she joined in a engineering college, who is one of the best engineering college, and Cinderella is in third year. At that time Vishal sir and Ravi sir and Udayan ma'am so helped her, and they motivated that Cinderella, and she tried very hard to crack at least one interview, and yes, with that hard work and with their help, she cracked the 3 interviews and got a product-based company. And her life from 2016 to 2022, we can see the difference. Now that girl standing in front of you and telling this story. Yes, this is my story, and I'm feeling very, very happy to be a part of Udayan team. Udayan team is my family.
So I just move on. So that's where it becomes too emotional. So I'll just sort of stop it there. But that's the story, effectively. Last time also, I mean, we had played a video of Swati. She sort of got an early placement from Accenture. And so her mother had come. She had made a statement which I'll never forget. She said that now, because Swati is educated and she has gotten a chance, every girl in my village is now interested in studying hard. And that's big, right? It's not about touching those 2 or 3 girls who are there, right? It's about making an impact which can be widespread. So now our aspiration at Udayan has to move on from startup to a scale-up phase, right? And we hope to get to about 1,000 girls supported by 2030. First steps, we now really want to get to 50 girls by 2025, and then sort of scale up. Very, very privileged to announce that, so I went to IIT in India, IIT supposedly considered whatever, MIT of India and all this stuff. So my dean at IIT, he also has joined us, effectively in terms of supporting. So we're just trying to mobilize that entire network as well. But I really wanted to call out the support of this entire group, the X equals experience group, which has really supported these girls, and we hopefully, in a very small way, are able to make some impact on their lives as well. So that's the part I wanted to. So we'll be doing a raffle, and Emily and Rachel has really planned it very well. So anyone who is interested in contributing to this cause as a part of the X equals experience community, please feel free to sort of reach out. They have a booth right there. Again, thanks Emily and Rachel for coordinating all of this. Thanks a lot. My third story is very personal. This is, again, I mean, you can support. I know many of you are joining online, so if anyone is interested, I mean, you can support the trust by donating through this.